Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and we got to talk about what's going on and give you guys an update about the Donovan Mitchell and the New York Knicks situation. We all know that the New York Knicks and the Utah Jazz are in deep trade conversations, and we get a report that the Knicks and the Jazz were close on agreeing on terms, but the New York Knicks are the team that actually declined the offer from the Jazz and backed away, and now they're trying to rework on a deal. And I want to give you guys my thoughts of the package that the Utah Jazz and Danny Ainge are trying to get from the New York Knicks, and my thoughts of Leon Rose walking away from this package and what type of deal that Leon Rose and the Knicks are trying to get. So this is going to be a really interesting video because there's a lot of rumors, a lot of reports about this deal. I really feel like it's going to happen. I don't know when. I don't know what the package is going to be like. But I have a feeling that Donovan Mitchell is going to come to the Knicks eventually, whether that's in the next couple of days, whether that's in the next couple of weeks. We do not know, but I do feel like it's inevitable. And I do feel like Donovan Mitchell is coming to the Knicks. And I could be wrong. I don't have any sources. I don't have anything. But according to all the reports that I'm seeing and all the sources that we're reading upon on Twitter, it really feels like it's going to happen. And they just have to come to an agreement on a deal. We heard from Shams last night during the Knicks Summer League game that he's the one that even said this can go on for 2 to 3 weeks, even for the rest of the offseason. And the Utah Jazz, their focus is the New York Knicks because they love the assets and they love the draft picks that we possess. So that's why I have a lot of confidence in this deal getting done. But before we get into the report, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to Knicks Media, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Got a lot of Knicks content coming your way all throughout the rest of the offseason. And if you guys want to like the video, if you guys enjoyed, that would be greatly appreciated. And of course, comment down below your thoughts of this video and your thoughts of this whole Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks rumors and reports. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So, according to Tony Jones of The Athletic, who is the Utah Jazz reporter, this is a rumor, but this is part of his report. Apparently, this is the type of package that the Utah Jazz are trying to get from the Knicks. Now, I would not have done this, and I'm happy that Leon Rose did not do this. The Jazz wanted Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride, and 6 first-round picks. Holy crap, that is ridiculous. Now, obviously, as Knicks fans, we know that this price is extremely steep. And I'm happy that Leon Rose backed away because now this tells me that Leon Rose and the Knicks kind of have some leverage here. The Jazz and Danny Ainge, they want to send Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks because they love the assets that we have. Danny Ainge loves his first-round picks. He traded Rudy Gobert away. He got a lot of first-round, got a lot of draft capital. And the Knicks are kind of the only team around the league that have enough draft capital to afford the Donovan Mitchell price. The Miami Heat, for example, are like the only team that's kind of involved in the Donovan Mitchell trade. They do not have the draft capital in order to send to the Utah Jazz that they would like. The Knicks, on the other hand, they do. So it's obvious that Danny Ainge wants to send Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks. So it's good to see that Leon Rose is not just reactive and say, all right, this is what you want. I want Donovan Mitchell at any cost necessary. I'll give you 6 firsts and our entire young core. Now, this is kind of concerning to me because I don't know how the Knicks are going to be able to negotiate and get this price a little down. Because first of all, 6 first-round picks is a lot. But packaging those players with those 6 first-round picks kind of concerns me. Obviously, we do not want to get rid of all of IQ, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and Miles McBride. Now, listen, if we can hold on to one of Quickley and Obi Toppin, that would be preferably for me personally. If we can hold on to both of them, I'd absolutely love that. I'm on the wave train of if we can give up more draft picks that would allow us to hold on to more of these young players, that would be preferably. And this package has 6 first-round picks. So it's kind of ridiculous that this is the type of package that they're looking for. But if they can package something along the lines of Grimes, Reddish, and Fournier and like 5 first-round picks, or maybe you have to throw in extra first-round picks because we're keeping Quickley and Obi Toppin, then you do that. And I love Quentin Grimes. I absolutely love what he's doing in the Summer League. I think he has so much potential in this league. But I just feel like he is going to be a crucial part of this trade package. I think the Utah Jazz are really high on him, and I'm expecting him to be in Utah if this trade gets done, as well as Deuce McBride. It's going to be really interesting to see what type of offer the Knicks counter from this, because this is one of those trades where it's like, no. You cannot give up Quickley and Toppin and Grimes and McBride and 6 firsts. That's just a little too much for me. But at the same time, if we can get Donovan Mitchell without giving up RJ Barrett, which it looks like RJ's off the table, RJ's not included in any trade talks, which is really awesome to see, because the Jazz don't want him because they don't want to pay for him. They're going in a full rebuild. They do not want to pay anybody big time money, and RJ Barrett is eligible for a big time extension. So RJ Barrett's not involved with the trade talks, which is music to my ears. So if we can somehow get Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks to pair him up with RJ Barrett, to pair him up with Jalen Brunson, to pair him up with Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle, that's awesome. We also saw a report from Ian Begley earlier this week that the Knicks and the Jazz were talking about a Mitchell Robinson deal to send Mitchell Robinson to the Utah Jazz to bring Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks. But what happened is we signed Mitchell Robinson, so we cannot trade Mitchell Robinson until December since we gave him that extension. So this tells me that the Knicks have a little leverage here, and that's awesome because we do not want the Knicks to be desperate and say, okay, what do you want? Whatever you want, we're just going to give you so we can get Mitchell to the Knicks. It really feels like the Knicks are doing the right thing here by making sure that they're not reactive, they're not impulsive, and they're not desperate for Donovan Mitchell. And I feel like the Knicks do have a lot of leverage here because it seems like Donovan wants to come to the Knicks, and it feels like the Utah Jazz front office their focus is on working out a deal with the New York Knicks. Now, a perfect deal for me is, like I said, holding on to both Obi Toppin and Immanuel Quickley, but the reality is that's not going to be likely, unfortunately, because the Utah Jazz are going to want one of those 2 year 3 players because they have a lot of upside, they have a lot of potential in this league, and they want some young talent. But if we can just give up Grimes, McBride, and like Fournier, or Grimes, McBride, and Reddish, and try to hold on to Obi and Quickly, that would be preferably for me. But listen, guys, you got to pay a price for a star in this league. I've always been on the train with all my teams, whether it's the Knicks, the Jets, the Mets, to not sacrifice your entire young talent, not sacrifice your entire team just for one star. But this is a very different situation because what the Knicks have done the past couple of seasons is to be able to stockpile assets and to be able to afford a star if it comes available. We all know that Leon Rose came to the Knicks for one reason: to acquire star talent. This is a star-driven league, and I know that a lot of Knicks fans rather just build through the draft, build organically, and we have been doing that. And when you build through the draft, it gives you an opportunity to be aggressive in the market, like the trade, like we are right now. So that's why I feel like the Knicks are in a really good situation. They have all the leverage. They have 8 tradable first-round picks. They have a lot of young, talented players on the roster that has a lot of trade value, like Grimes, like McBride, like Obi, and Quickly. But I definitely do not want to trade all 4 of them, and that's where I draw the line. If you're asking for all 4 of them, that's where we have to really figure out what this trade is going to be like, because you gotta not give up both Quickly and Obi. One of those 2 at least needs to be on this team this year for the future, preferably both of them. If Leon Rose somehow, in some way, can hold on to RJ, Obi, and Quickly, and maybe somehow hold on to Grimes. Like, I would love to hold on to Grimes and still get Mitchell, but that's just not realistic here. That's just me, saying all these things and hoping for the best, but that's just not realistic. It seems like the Utah Jazz are high on Quentin Grimes, and they want a lot of picks. So if I'm the New York Knicks, I would give them more first-round picks if that means we can hold on to Quickly and Obi Toppin and maybe throw in a couple veterans and a couple other young guys and maybe some draft rights to Jakubaitis overseas or throw in, I don't know. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments of what the Utah Jazz asking price is, because I really feel like the Knicks have a lot of leverage here, and it does feel inevitable that the New York Knicks will get a deal done with the Utah Jazz to bring Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks. I hope so, because me saying that sounds wild. Like, it feels like a dream that Donovan Mitchell is coming to the Knicks still, because I don't know if you guys know this. I said it on Twitter. I said it in a couple of my videos before. But ever since Donovan came into the NBA, he's been one of my favorite non-Knicks players in the league. I've always rooted for him. I always loved him because of his ties to New York City, because of his energy, the way he plays the game of basketball. I just loved his whole offensive repertoire. I just really gravitated towards Donovan Mitchell in the NBA. And now that he's potentially coming to the Knicks, it's like, wait a second, we might get Donovan. So let's hope it happens. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments of this video. Love to hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to be live later today about all the latest rumors and reports to give you guys about the Knicks and the Jazz trade talks. Leave a comment down below your thoughts. Like the video if you guys enjoy. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let's go Knicks. Peace out.